that is what we were given today. So wave around. It did the trick. Not just quite as well. What a win. What a win for AFC Bournemouth. A 4-1 win at home to Leeds. We demolished them and were so much the better side. 39 points. Surely that is it. And we said it a couple of times. Is that it? Surely that is it now. I do have two people with me already. Please do get involved as well. There will be the link that will be scrolling down at the bottom in a second of how to join in. You should be able to find it in the description on YouTube as well, and also on Facebook as well. Hello to everybody there, and on Twitter. We have Mr. Matthew Harrison in what is, one of my favourite AFC Bournemouth third kits of all time, and one that I couldn't bloody get hold of because it sold out after one match. How you doing, mate?
Absolutely fine.
I tell you what.
Happy that we're on the 39 points. I'm celebrating with a little drink.
There we go.
And I'm even better that I've got a shirt that you haven't got that you want. I'm lucky because you definitely won't fit in this one, so you can't even borrow
it. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
You'll have to go and have a look on eBay, Paddy, won't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if not, ask Lawrence. Lawrence might have one in his shop.
Lawrence in this shop. If Lawrence is on, hello, Lawrence. Please join the show. We want another tour of your whole store.
Tonight we don't.
I tell you what, we're in celebratory mood, and we also have Chris from Leicester Till I Die on. How are you doing, Chris?
Well, that's me again in about 27 hours, and I'll let you know. Yeah.
Do you think you'll be having a celebratory drink?
Well, I've just done this as well, as Matthew knows because he was in it. Just done a show with an Everton fan, and oh god, I don't know. I'm ready to top myself now. I mean, he's not. He wasn't
pretty down, wasn't he? He was
pretty down, yes. But look, this time last year, I had the same sort of conversation with a Newcastle fan, and all the Newcastle fans that had come in the show were predicting Leicester to win, and they went and stuffed us 4-1. It's just one of those seasons, isn't it? And I can see this going either way. I'm going to be as nervous as hell. I'm hoping the Komodo ice tomorrow so I can just sit on it and do the show. Then I'd have to sort of get up and go for toilet breaks, which will be a lot of. Yeah. I mean, congratulations to you guys. I've got to say, well done. I had you down to go straight back down, but, that was because of the cardigan. And no other reason, to be honest with you. So you've had an up and down season, but 39, you're safe. Well done, congratulations. Hopefully, we'll be playing you next season, but who knows?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping that. Dominic Brunt's agent. Who is Dominic Brunt? Go on, you tell me. Here we go.
Come on, Matt. Do you want to tell him?
No, I'll let you do it.
He's a well-known actor. Now, if anybody kind of watches any sort of Yorkshire-based programmes about farming or anything like that, he likes to have his hand up a cow's arse, not like yourself, Craig. I've heard you like to do that on a night out, which is why I didn't go to the pub with you that night.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that cameo Bournemouth Saturday night. Jeez, it all goes wrong, don't it?
Yeah, I've never been down cameo. I think I'm not. Is that bad? Is it?
Well, to be honest, I'm collecting my OAP pass in cameo. And so would Matt be. So yeah.
Well, I can't speak for Matt because I don't know him well enough to insult him yet. But you, mate, what are you doing in cameo? Jesus Christ!
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean,
yeah, are you auditioning to be Jimmy Savile or what? I mean, you should not be in like. No,
Hello,
Dominic Front is the gentleman that plays, as you well know, Paddy in Emmerdale.
yes,
And
I
he,
know.
and I have signed Craig up. He is available for personal appearances. Apparently in cameo. If anybody's down
No,
there wants to come up and have a dance with him.
Chris, do you remember who we was playing today? Okay, Leeds is a big city, but it's probably going to be about half an hour, 45 minutes to the Emmerdale Forum.
Yes.
That's probably no, that's more Somerset, isn't it? To be fair, let's be
It
fair.
was a bit, yes.
Yeah, it's a Somerset.
See about
I,
Gumman and all that, isn't it?
I've never heard of a Yorkshireman sound like somebody from Somerset, but
No.
there we go. We do have some comments. Fill my pants. Surely that's not your name. I'm happy. Job done. You can stop filling your pants now. So yeah, go out, get very drunk,
I know that
celebrate.
feeling.
Come on,
I
yeah.
know that feeling.
Chris is already filling his pants ahead
Oh.
of tomorrow. Liam Humby, you're right, Liam. Good to see you. Feel free to come on as well. You're more than welcome, mate. What an amazing win today. Bloody hell, was it? And great job today. Come on, lads. Yes,
Can I just say,
definitely.
as well as saying congratulations for staying up, because it is a great, like I say, with the Muppet you had in charge at the start, it's amazing that you have done. But I've got to say as well, thank you so much for the last two games. Beating Southampton, which I'd have been quite happy for a draw for that one, but as things have worked out, that's worked out well, and beating
Yeah.
Leeds, we couldn't ask more of you. Fine club that Bournemouth. That's what I say. Fine club.
Exactly. That's why you move close to
Got a
it.
few white
Really.
shirts, but fine club.
Yeah. And of course, you never know. You might be able to do the bit. Well, one of you's got to win, or it could well be a draw, which is going to do neither of you any good. But let's be fair. Matt, let's throw this out there. And I tell you what, anybody in the comments as well, because I had quite a detailed conversation with Matt and Max today before
Not
the
Harry.
match. Not Harry, not Harry. I'll tell you what, I could give him a call, ask him the question. But personally, I think Everton are down. Will anybody miss Everton? Will anybody miss Everton? Because let's be honest, I, I I've watched a couple of Everton, and of course, you had an Everton fan on your relegation show that I was on,
Yeah.
and I was full of optimism. And the Everton fan, I was really, really worried about him. To be fair,
I'm
when I got off that.
surprised you noticed him because nobody could get a word in was when you came on the show. I had 5 other guests on. Bloody hell!
I was sat there watching it. I thought it was the Paddy relegation show. No one
Yes.
else heard it anything.
How's his
we're the-
agent? I got him a good deal. He
Oh,
was on so much a word.
but Chris, we're the only ones that are safe from the lot of it, so I got it right.
Yes. Yeah, he wasn't. The one today wasn't very happy, was he? Either, Matt.
No, definitely not.
No, it's all very. We've got that to look forward to. Last game of the season, Matt. Do you fancy doing that opposition preview show, or do you want me to just take that one?
Well, if it was the poor guy that Chris was with earlier, then something is only going to last about 5 minutes before he passes out.
Tell you what, he was cheerful compared to James the other night.
Oh,
He was kind of on a scale where he was already down here, but then by the time he finished with Chris, he was off the screen, gone.
Oh, I can take. Have a careful how I word this. I can make fans feel worse by the time they finish talking to me. I couldn't say what I was going to say then. I've had one strike off YouTube today. I don't want another one.
oh dear!
But I know
You've been a naughty boy, have you?
I've been a naughty boy. I've upset Bernie Eccleston, and he wasn't happy. Look, they send you to strike school, you know. Have you ever? You probably not had a strike because you're goody two shoes. But if you get a strike,
Thanks, mate.
you get a strike. You click on the link and it says, "Do you want to go to school?" Like when you've sort of got a speeding fine and you have to go do a speed awareness course. It's one of them. You go on. It's 3 questions, 4 questions. I got one wrong, and he says, "Fine, yeah, not a problem. We'll wipe it off in 90 days." But no, actually, just answering your question, it's a good question. I think with Everton, I think they've just been down there so much now that no, we won't be sorry to see them go.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's forget about them for a moment because we do have a young fan waiting backstage. I can already see the Jefferson Lerma top. Hello, Oscar. How you doing, mate?
Great.
Look at his Lerma t-shirt.
You all right, mate?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm guessing you enjoyed the game, didn't you? Oh, fantastic. Which of you, out of the 4 goals, which was your favourite today?
Lerma.
Lerma. Excellent. Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he? And of course, do you know what? I've actually got that Lerma top.
Really?
Yeah, I have actually got that Lerma top as well myself. So yeah.
His is signed though. Look, see.
Oh, look at that.
His is
Yeah,
extra
I haven't got it
special.
signed actually. Yeah, it's extra special. You want to look after that one, mate.
Oh look, he's got a
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look at this.
It's almost like coming round my house, this, isn't it?
It is.
Oh. Kiefer signed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You're following Matt here.
Yeah, well,
You know,
he is the same. He is the same bloodline, bless him. So
yeah.
I thought that was Craig's twin.
But no, it was a great result, wasn't it? And do you think we're safe now? We got to be safe, haven't we?
Matt.
hello,
God,
mate.
he's got a question for you, Matt. Go on.
Say again.
Why do you have 2 of the same shirt?
What did he say? I can't hear him.
No, they're not the same shirts.
No, the Lerma more one.
No, Lerma's an old kit.
Oh.
What does he think? What is he looking at this one? You looking at this one?
Yeah, but I thought it was the same as your more one.
No, that's down there. That's the black one.
Yeah.
And that's the
Old one.
old one.
Answer Craig though. Craig asked, "Do you think Bournemouth are safe?"
He don't want to answer Craig, does he? Let's be honest.
Is Craig not the old one you were referring to?
No, true.
Do you know what? I absolutely love that shirt that Matt's got on. But
Man jealousy here, Matt. Be
do you think
careful.
we'll stay up, Oscar? We've done it now, haven't we?
No, I don't think we'll stay up.
You don't think we'll stay up? Yeah, of course we're going to stay up.
Come on, Oscar.
Come on.
Let's ask Oscar a series. Oscar, do you think Leicester will stay up?
Oh, here we go.
No.
Do you think Everton will stay up? No. There we are. Sorry, Chris. You got put up with them next year.
Up? Will there be anybody in the Premier League next season? No, he's such a lovely, cute little lad, and he comes on and he just one comp. No, boom.
Do you think Leicester will stay up? No.
Babyface assassin there, or what?
Oh no! And it begins. I seen your last late show, James Gordon. For all the Leeds fans watching, do I look like James Corden? You know, feel free to rip into me.
Craig.
You're more than welcome. Go on.
Is your name Puddy?
I love him again.
I was trying to root down the route of James Corden. He's quite cool, quite like James Corden. He's a comedian, everything. And then Oscar's just turned around and said, "Oh yes, you look like Paddy.
He's going for us all. He's killing us all, isn't he?
Oh, here we go. We've got some comments on here. Was Chris one of those responsible for wrecking the town back in the day? No, Chris is a Leicester fan. So
That's boom. I don't get what he means, but
nah, that's fine. That's fine. Big up, panel. Hope you're well. Congratulations on your big win. Thank you, Anthony. We've got a Leeds fan in the house, Carl Tanner. Feel free, Carl, to by all means, if you can, share around the link, around the Leeds fans. We're more than happy to have all Leeds fans on. So yeah, please do join us. Just stopping by to say I told you in the comments of your previous show with Dan that you'd smash us, and there you go. And actually, you did. And yeah, to be perfectly honest, I was surprised. I was quietly surprised. You know, I do feel for Leeds, after today, because Paddy Kirk FC. Somebody has registered a YouTube account to put that. Somebody has registered a YouTube account to put Yo Paddy Kirk. How you doing, Floyd? You alright, mate?
Yo,
close to
Paddy
stalking that, isn't it?
We've got Floyd here as well. Good to see you, mate. There we are. Leeds fans like you, Oscar.
I did at the start.
Big up, lads. Hopefully Leicester will stay up with Dino. Max is coming on. Got somebody who can talk more than me.
Don't believe that.
Honestly, yeah, I've never met Max. Actually, you probably have met Max. But I tell you what, James. Do you know what? We just talk rubbish on this show, don't we?
Yeah.
No.
We just talk rubbish. Right, should we start talking about the actual football game that actually happened today?
Yes.
I know we were all a bit happy and a bit, merry and a bit drunk, but obviously not you, Oscar. Is Floyd drunk? No, Floyd's not drunk. Floyd's sensible. And Chris hasn't got anything to drink about at the moment.
Haley was last night.
Oh dear, giving it all away now.
Have you brought him up? He's killing us all.
Do you know what? I just don't have any responses at the moment. I'm just like, Oscar, you've done brilliantly so far. Do you know what? Do you want to host this show?
You need a bit of character on the show, don't you? Well,
yeah, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Oscar, you're hosting the show. Go on.
Yeah.
Say hello to everyone.
Well, what questions do you want to ask?
If you're all these from this girl off this channel.
Oh dear. Oscar's upset Leeds. Fill my pants. It's surely not his name. We'd love to know who this is actually. Leicester stay up, Leeds down. Sorry, fans. Do you agree with that, Leeds fans?
Love that. I love that, Mr. Me Pants. I really do.
Mr. Me Pants.
Iron Man.
I think it's pretty obvious now, isn't it? I think Leicester will be fine. They'll get out of it, but it's going to be between Everton, Leeds, and Forest for me.
I honestly think you'll be all right.
Honestly, not just because Chris is on it. I've said to you before, Craig, that Leicester will be fine.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
No. Everton tomorrow, they'll be fine.
Anyway, just stopped by to say I was right. Can't say congrats to you lot. I had you all down like everyone else. Inspiring campaign and fight from you, Cherries. Good luck on the rest of the season. And likewise to you, Carl. All the very, very best, mate. And Sean Kendall, got to be up there with our best April in Bournemouth history, as big as the Great Escape. That is 15 points. 15 points in the whole of April. Mr. Lawrence Martin called that, didn't he? Maybe he might be on later on. Are we one win away from guaranteed Premier League football next season? To be honest, I think everybody else is going to do that for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think you're there. I think 39 is more than enough.
Just those two teams next week, and that's it.
Yeah.
Game done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Chris. I think you'll beat Everton tomorrow. And then Everton have got, who was it? Man City and Brighton, haven't they?
Yeah.
They got Brighton, then Man City. Brighton away, Man City at home. Let's be honest, they're not going to get anything from either of those two.
Look, you're talking to the fan of the club that's been beaten twice by Southampton this season. Don't say we're automatically going to beat anybody. It ain't going to happen. I mean, the worst thing I think would be a draw tomorrow, because I don't think that would do either of us any good. But it will do us better than Everton, because our goal difference is so much better than anybody else's around us, and we have, it's almost worth a point. But like I said, you guys just so did us a favour today with that win over Leeds. It was brilliant. I almost cheered for you. I didn't. Let's not go mad, but I almost cheered for you. I nearly went and got my flannel out and did a bit of dusting with it, just in honour of you.
Do you know what? I did look at this, and it's not a duster. It's not a duster. I'm not dusting the table with that. I'm not dusting the table with that. I think that's a nice bit of memorabilia.
What is it though? I mean, our chairman gives us T-shirts, clappers, flags. You get a bit of older bloody material.
We do.
It's a nice gesture.
We do have two more people backstage, so let's bring them in. We have got Mr. Max Cowlard. How you doing, Max?
Who's not there?
Who isn't there? He's
Not
probably
there.
gone to the toilet. But this man is here. Hello, David. How you doing, mate?
I want to say first of all, it's not a duster; it's a rally.
He's in the bathroom. It's your shower curtain behind Max, isn't it?
No, I'm in my log cabin, mate. I'm by the shower curtain, and I wouldn't be doing it on YouTube.
I hope not as well.
Yeah.
You got all the Bournemouth fans in now, so I'll let you.
YouTube like I did a few weeks ago. That's all good.
Well, Chris,
you've got all the Bournemouth fans in, so I'll let you go, guys, and enjoy your win, and congratulations on the season. Like I say, you're not going to go down now. Well done. Nice to see you do it, especially with the plonker you had in charge at the start. So,
cheers, mate.
Well
and Chris, all the very, very best for tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll get 3 points.
I've lost the stone today. I've been to the shit house that many times.
to be honest.
Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, I'm sorry, Oscar. Sorry.
There we are.
Naughty word.
Stop effing swearing. But no, it's. Do you know what? It's all come to part, isn't it? Chris, all the very, very best tomorrow against Everton. Do make sure that all the Everton fans are okay afterwards as well, because we want to just make sure they're okay.
I only wish I'd got a dog that I could take for a walk, because I think I might need him.
Here's one.
Do you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing as well. Just before you go, Everton's first game back in the top flight was in 1954, and we was discussing this. 1954 against Sheffield United, a 5-2 win. And their last game could be against Bournemouth. Let that sink in.
I am. It's sinking. It's sinking, and I'm trying to think of the...
Jeez.
Somebody explain that to me, please, before I go, because I won't sleep.
Well, basically, they were promoted back into the top flight for the 1954-55 season.
Play Sheffield United.
Play Sheffield United,
Yes.
and all these years later, we're talking 70 odd years later, we could be their last game before they go down.
What's the most?
That.
Do you care about Everton?
No, but I don't
No, there we are.
understand what
That's
the
fair
link
enough.
is between you and Sheffield United. I mean, you both got red stripes. Is that what you mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's all gone to pot. I was just saying what sort of time frame was between the
I mean,
two.
you talk a lot, Craig. You
But
talk
Craig,
a lot of bloody
Greg, we can say one.
rubbish sometimes.
Everton will have the biggest stadium in the championship, right? The biggest.
They will do, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the plan, was it? Really?
Anyway, guys, congratulations. Hopefully,
Cheers,
see you
Chris.
next season. Take care and all the best, guys.
Are you doing a free for all tomorrow? Not free for all. Watch along.
I am indeed. If my commode arrives in time,
I shall be along for the watch along. I might go to the gym and I'll watch the game and I'll listen to you as well. And
you just
yeah.
want to see a grown man cry, don't you?
No, we'll see a lot of grown men cry, but they'll all be in Everton shirts, I think, to be
Well,
perfectly
I'm gonna
honest.
try and get
Because let's
another
be honest, they're not very good, mate. I think you'll be all right.
Not being funny. I remember when Chris said, after the Bournemouth one, he's like, "I'm not doing another bloody live watch along because this is too stressful." And he's like, "Oh, Max, I bet you're on
Liar, liar."
From Craig's channel just to watch me cry."
Oh, there he is. He's gone already. There we are. So there was five.
Oh, yeah. Also, do you know? I remember when we played Leicester. He was proper. He was annoyed when I think it was FaZe and he was messing around.
See you later, mate.
The appearing guest.
Oh, I tell you what, this show, it just goes mad sometimes. To be fair, I'm trying to work out where we're up to on the comments. Matt, can you help me? I can't wait to end in front of Chelsea this season. That's a very true possibility. Oscar, do you think we'll finish above Chelsea? Get your dad's.
This season.
Yeah, get your dad's advice. Do you think so?
I think that we'll finish above. Yeah.
There we are. Yes, yeah, there we are. I was hoping you was going to say yes, Floyd.
You're rubbish, isn't
Yeah.
it? The goal was that rubbish goal scored by who was it? It was a deflected shot, wasn't it, by Felix or someone? That was their goal of the month.
Anthony has already said it's Dave from the royal family. There we are, David. We're all getting nicknames.
I wonder what my nickname is.
Oh, how long you got?
Hello, mate.
What?
What's Max's nickname, Oscar?
Right, pick Max's nickname. Who do you think he looks like? Anyone in the world. Look at him. Who do you think?
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Wait, could have said bum.
You take that though.
And let's go to the next one. That's the year Germany won the World Cup. What's that to? I'm trying to think. Germany won the World Cup.
54.
1954. Do you know what? I didn't even think of that, did I? Didn't think of that. And yes, Uncle Floyd, isn't it, Oscar?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. There's me. You know, I've had too many of those, mate. Sorry. Been celebrating too much. There we are. AFCB Germany. Right. Should we start talking about this game? Because at the moment I'm
Waffling on.
that's about half an hour of half an hour of Floyd knows me too well. Half an hour of rubbish there for you all. But let's talk about the lineups. So when you saw the lineups,
Yeah.
what did you think? Go on, Oscar. Was you happy with the lineup?
No.
Wrong with
Go on.
I think
That's why.
at left back, Vino at left mid, and take Dr. Lanky on the bench for Keith Moore.
Do you know what? Two of those three, to be honest, I agree there.
Yeah, not a bad shout to start with.
Not a bad shout to start with. I think Solanke probably deserved his place up front, but
I put him in the 4-2 so I can
play both.
Yeah.
I think I was surprised Kelly was in the centre of defence. I mean,
Yeah.
played so well back, but again, he played well today. So yeah, I think Oscar nailed it there.
Yeah, I completely agree.
By the way, I was watching in a deep bar in Washington DC with a bunch of Leeds fans who weren't very pleasant, but I think it got less pleasant as the morning went.
There was a Leeds fan that pushed someone over, and he said, "Back off, you short cannon." He said, "Start from 4-1."
Yeah, he apparently said it. He said it to some a guy who's a a small person, and the guy retorted, "Well, yeah, I'm 4-1, so there." That's a good retort.
Rich from Eagle Eyed Football as well.
Welcome.
Great channel. We'll have Rich back on as well. If you're up for it, Rich, if you're up for putting up with me again, we'll have him back on for our Crystal Palace review. Welcome to safety. Now let's both finish above Chelsea. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Villa don't like Leeds. So sorry, all the Leeds fans. We all hate Leeds. We all hate Leeds scum. So yes, they're not particularly big fans of Leeds.
Like Leeds, do they? To be fair.
I mean, the only people who like Leeds are Leeds. Let's be honest.
Leeds.
I tell you what, though, the guest we had on the Square Ball, Dan Moylan, absolute first class podcast. Lovely guys as well. They're great comedy as well. They bring so much to it. So yeah, they were absolute pleasure. And I hope that we can have them back on next season. But if they're going to be in the Championship, it's very unlikely. Which I think it's a realistic possibility, really. It's a realistic possibility. Please, Leeds and Everton to go down. Super. I wasn't sure in the centre of defence. And I said that at the time, didn't I?
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on Marcus and Lloyd Kelly being paired together.
They're both left-footed, isn't it? It throws the side out a bit.
And if you'll remember, up at Liverpool,
those
two playing, well, don't think actually they played together at Liverpool, did they? Or were they partnered together? Was it them two? Where some game they were partnered together and they just couldn't play together earlier on in the season. It just awful.
To be honest, most players couldn't play up in Liverpool, but it was Metham and Kelly in the centre backs positions at Liverpool.
Wasn't good.
Yeah, but the only thing I would say is that, I mean, I think it's actually lucky that we have Kelly who can play left back and in the centre. I mean, that's actually a really positive thing, right? I think his actual better position is left back. But he did well today. And Mepham, I think, he had a slight injury, so they didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised they didn't put Stevens in, but Yeah, they all played well today. It was yeah, especially. I mean, the goals that we took were beautiful. I mean, I just wanted Jefferson to get the hat trick. That was what and he
Yeah.
was so selfless. Like he was passing at the end, like shoot.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I was so behind him for getting that hat trick because I thought, he was. Let's be honest. His goals were well taken goals. How he got it straight into that bottom corner. I think, yeah, outstanding goal. Villa TV really does not like Leeds. They're so dirty. Their fans are nasty. They'll be crying tonight. And I hate Bamford. Leeds are going down. Enjoy Championship when Bournemouth and Villa enjoy the Premier League. You really don't like Leeds, do you? Foley's other team, Lorient, won against
Wow,
PSG. There
wow.
we are. That's interesting.
And
And
he
somebody
also,
said Villa TV. Clap.
his team got to the next round of the Stanley Cup, and I think have a really good shot of winning that. So he could end up with a really good sports season this year. So
Yeah, most definitely. Let's talk about Leeds. And do you know what? I think we've got quite a lot of Leeds fans on at the moment watching. Leeds fans, you're more than welcome to come on. We don't bite. The comment in the not the comments, the description. There is the link for you to join in. You're more than welcome to come on. And you know we're a good friendly bunch, so yeah, feel free to vent your frustrations. But I'm going to have my say about Leeds and what I thought. So before this game, earlier on in the season, I was quite surprised. I watched their game against Liverpool. Liverpool, was it Liverpool away that they played? I think it was Liverpool away, or was it Liverpool at home? I'll have to check. It was 2-1 though. It's a 2-1 game, and I thought they were really good that day. But something. It was Liverpool away, 29th of October. Um, it was the late game, and personally, I thought that they looked really good. Something has fallen off an absolute cliff for Leeds, and I don't know what it is. They've been beaten by Crystal Palace heavily. They've been beaten by Liverpool heavily. Now they've been beaten by us heavily. And personally, I can only say that it's that Javi Gracia, the man who is in the revolving door of Watford, who has actually caused that. Leeds just look devoid of ideas, whereas earlier on in the season, they looked like a team that could create things. They looked like a team that could grind out results. And personally, now they look very poor. And to be honest, unless something solves itself for them, I think they're done for. I think they're spent. And I probably revised my predictions at the start of the match, which was Forest. I think Forest probably get out of it. Everton's still definitely going down, but I think Forest will probably get out of it, and Leeds will go down if nothing changes. What do you guys think?
I'm not convinced. I mean, I don't know. On that performance, yes, I think you're right. But there's something about they do score goals. The problem is they concede a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And I think in hindsight they probably made a mistake getting rid of their manager, or at least appointing the guy they did. I think it's between. I think Forest may escape. I think Leeds may escape. Leicester may escape. I think Southampton and Everton are going down, and then I think one of the other three.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think Leicester will be fine.
But I don't really care because we're not going down, so that's really the only thing that matters.
Well, there's a couple of predictions. Is anyone watching Match of the Day tonight?
Yes.
I'll probably watch it on repeat. What time does it start?
Is it 10:20?
10 o'clock.
10
10 o'clock.
Yeah,
We'll be
Matt's
done
right.
by
It's
that
normally
time then.
between
Yeah.
10 and half 10, I think. So yeah.
There we are.
So
Matt, get the old listings up.
what I say was that you were talking when I came on about the the
Yeah.
dust cloths or whatever you were calling the duster. Yeah, the things they get.
Yes, these.
Those are actually that actually developed in Pittsburgh in one of the football game where they call them rally towels. Everybody actually wraps them around their hands and wraps them there. And some people started doing it during the middle of the game. It looked really good on TV.
I
but they're
never
not
knew that.
Rally towels.
rally towels. Like
Oh.
down, and then everybody does the rally towel, and then they come back to the game and win it. So
And there's me calling it a duster. Oh dear, can't find one. But yeah,
You've lost yours, have you?
Oh, what's
No.
that? The flags that we've got in the stadium today.
we've got a couple waiting. Craig, couple waiting.
We certainly do. We certainly do.
Yeah, them
It is-
bastards, they're probably just to wipe the sweat off your face.
Hey
On-
Max, we're trying to introduce two people. Hold on.
So we have got coming onto the show and returning. Hello, Liam. How you doing, mate? Yaddy, yaddy, yo. Yaddy, yaddy, yo. Go on, grab yours as well, Matt. Oscar, are you going to wave yours around, mate? There we are. He's sorting it. Yes. Here we go.
I don't know where I put. To be honest, I don't know where I put mine.
Oh, Matt, you've let Max, you've let us down.
Yeah, no. Hold on, let me go and have a look for it. 1 second.
now we've done that one, right? We're gonna have to make sure we do it every game.
We do, yeah, we do, and we do have the main man, Manny. There, how you doing, Manny?
All good, all good. Listen, please don't call me the main man. I'm not even a Bournemouth fan, although I do have a soft corner for the team. This is your day, your time to celebrate.
Oh,
I just wanted to come along to offer my congratulations. I wasn't able to come on for the win over Southampton, but this one clearly a lot more emphatic. I just knew that you had to beat them. I certainly wasn't expecting a 4-1, although maybe I was expecting it in some ways. I think Leeds are down, and I think I'm actually going to sort of give my predictions. I just think that with Leicester to play on Monday, I believe, they actually look to be a lot more spirited under Dean Smith. So it could very well be that Southampton, Everton, and Leeds might go down, and Everton and Leeds going down could very well be a seismic shock for the Premier League. I mean, two of the original teams who were involved in the formation. My goodness gracious me. But as far as Bournemouth are concerned, it's looking good. And a 4-1 win is the cherry on top. Pun intended.
I was just hoping that Chelsea had played worse in the beginning of the season, and then they would be relegated. Wouldn't that be great? A big.
Well, you're gonna have to curse Thomas Tuchel for that, because I mean Potter and Lampard have sent the club down. At least with Tuchel, there was some, semblance of propriety, as it were. Just goes to show you can never ever sack your managers on a whim. So in contrast to Chelsea, who now have 3 managers this season, you've stuck with Gary O'Neill, and the results of everything's paid off. The results.
hold that thought, because we're going to discuss that next. Just a couple of comments. Good win for Bournemouth, though. I can see you finishing above Chelsea. So that's Villa TV. I think Southampton are down with Forest and Everton.
I think Forest are going to do it. I don't know why, but there was enough in there yesterday that they had a shot at winning it. I mean, they gave it away in the end. I just think Forest are going to somehow win it.
You've got to hold on, though. You've got to hold on to those leads when they present themselves. And what's this one? Question to Max. I know you're a Bournemouth fan, but Craig told me you've got a soft spot for Southampton. This is true. I think Max will pretty much put us right here. Max, have you got a soft spot for Southampton? If not, if you say yes, I have got the remove button now. Oh, he's taking too long. He's coming back.
Nah, I ain't got no soft spot for them. It's their own problem. They're down at the bottom.
Well done.
You know what?
We
I feel
took-
like, to be honest, we've got justice on them. Do you remember when Sam Surridge scored that equaliser, yeah? And they gone and scored that goal at the other end to make it 2-0 at home when Ings missed that penalty that day, literally. That we did justice on them. Yeah, we had Venus goal ruled out because Solanke made the run too early. And then, you know, we again when we played them, they got their equaliser because we sat back. That if we did that did count, that would be O'Neill's fault. For sitting back too early at 1-0, 2-0, I can understand. But, you know, I have no soft spot for them, to be honest.
There we are. We've taught you well, Max. Taught you well. Oscar, of course, you got the Lerma on your shirt there. Do you think Lerma will stay? And then we'll go around the room and, you know, find out what everybody says.
Just that goal.
How are we going to keep Lerma? How are we going to get him to stay now?
Give him those.
With loads of money,
Yeah. Go on, guys. Who wants to go first? You know, feel free to jump in. Are we going to keep Jefferson Lerma?
I mean, yeah, I'll start. I hope we do keep him because he's proven that he's a really good player in the team. And obviously, his 2 goals today, he didn't mess about. He didn't waste his chances. Obviously, he probably had 1 or 2 shots off goal. But, you know, we're not bloody Erling Haaland, are we? So, to be honest, that first goal, I'll give him a pat on the back for that because I don't think many Premier League strikers could probably do that. And to be honest, that second goal, that was Mellier's fault because why parry it straight to the feet of Lerma? Because I'm telling you now, you know when we played Villa at the start of the season, not going off topic, that was a carbon copy goal of Villa because when Emi Martinez just punched it straight into the feet of Lerma, he just smashed it, you know, from the corner in the first minute. Do you remember?
Yeah, you're
It was
right.
technically the exact same goal. So Lerma, I hope. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not a psychic. Although I did say we win 3-1 or it was 4. But to be honest, I think Lerma. I think he should stay. But you never know. I hope he stays. But you never know. He's a good player and one of our best midfielders. So I'm glad that he's still at our club. But come to the end of the season, will he be at our club? I hope so. I hope he doesn't leave. So yeah, that's what I think of Lerma.
I think he was waiting till if we stay up or not. He might stay now.
I hope you're right. I hope he. And first of all, the goals today were brilliant, but he also did give away the ball a couple of times, one of which led to their goal. But having said that, I would love to keep him, just because he upsets the Watford fans. But I don't think he'll stay because I think he would have signed the contract by now. And B, rumor has it his family wants to be back in Spain, and he's a Spanish-speaking family, and that's where they want to be. And you know what? If that's what he decides to do, and it's for a family reason, we give him a big send-off on the last game of the season. He's left with the right spirit. He's given every inch of his body to the team over the years that he's been here. Not like that snake Fraser. So you know, I'm going to give him a lot of credit. And you know, also unlike Jay-Z, I think he's been clear along that he wants to go back to Spain. Jay-Z, the problem with Jay-Z was they weren't responding to the offer, and that's the part that was upsetting. So yeah, I would love him to stay. I'm hoping that maybe something makes him want to stay, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah. Go on, who wants to go next? Do we reckon Jefferson Lerma's going to stay?
I say Craig.
What do you say? Say again.
I want Craig to go.
I'll give my opinion. Go on.
How long have you got, Oscar? When did you go back to school?
Personally, I think he'll probably leave, but he's going to give 110% until that very day. And you know, it's full credit to him. He's not a Fraser. You know, he's not a Zamora. He's not gonna kick up about it. He's not looking for other clubs at this moment in time. I don't believe there might be something in the background that is happening, but I think it's a family reason why he would go back to Spain. I don't think it is a case of that he doesn't love this football club. I think it's just a case of, remember, he doesn't speak very much English at all. So, I think
He's
personally
getting better though, Craig. He says up the cherries really well now.
he does. That's because he watches this show. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Go on, Matt. What do you reckon?
I think personally he's going to be going. I believe from what I've read, it's a family decision.
Mhm.
It looks like from certain reports that there might even be a deal agreed with another club potentially, whether it's verbal or whatever. So I think he will go. But what we got to remember is that he's played probably some of his best football this season.
Yeah.
And he's also stayed with us for 2 seasons in the Championship. So he's been very, very loyal to this football club. And he's always played with his heart on his sleeve. And it'd be a real, real shame to lose him. He's one of my favourite players. But I think he will be going. But absolute credit to the guy because he's still putting in, like you say, 110% every game. And I think his best leaving present is Bournemouth being safe in the Premier League. And I think that's what he will want. Looks like that's what's happened. So if he does leave us, he leaves us with a fairly good job done with us in the Premier League. It's just a bit of a hole to fill when he does go, because have we got a player that will come in and do his role? We do have Lewis Cook. We've got Ben Pearson out on loan. Have we got someone already to step in and fill his role, or do we have to go out into the transfer market? Time will tell. Obviously, that's a decision for the likes of Richard Hughes and Neil Blake and Gary O'Neill, obviously.
Comment from AFCB Germany. Would love for him to stay, but I think he will leave and probably join a team like Villarreal. To be honest, would be a sensible destination for him. But the club I've heard,
It's in Spain,
and this
though,
is
isn't
the
it?
rumour,
So
Valencia is the rumour that I've heard. But I understand Valencia aren't particularly doing very well at the moment.
Yeah, but
So that
I've
might
also
change
heard
things.
Seville.
Yeah.
Seville.
It'd be an
I can
interesting
understand
one.
that'd be a good career move because they're always in Europe, aren't they? They always
It
do
would
well
be.
in Europe. But yeah, that's one name I've heard bash about. It's Villarreal, and the other one I just said, whoever it was.
Seville.
That's it.
Seville.
Get a gift for Jefferson if he leaves. I think we should get a giant yellow card and have everybody sign it. Wishing you.
They could get relegated in their issues with the owners.
I mean,
There we are.
if it
That's
goes
about
to Seville,
Valencia.
if Lerma does go to Seville, then he'll probably be playing Europa League football, won't he? Because Sevilla played United the other day, and that was in Europa League. So
They're pretty much in Europe every year, aren't they? So
yeah,
yeah,
They
for
were
me,
a really good side, they were.
we played them in a friendly and we beat them 3-0. Not last pre-season. I think it was a pre-season before that. I think it was out in Spain or something, on their little grounds or little training pitches, whatever, Matt.
Let's ask the Arsenal fan in the room, Manny, about Jefferson Lerma. Do you think it's a good career move? Let's change the question a little bit. Do you think it's a good career move going back to Spain, or do you feel that he's got unfinished business in the Premier League?
You talk about the family issues, Craig. I think at the end of the day, that is probably what matters more because, there was an example actually with Javier Mascherano, the Argentinian, of course, former Argentina captain who was on the books at Liverpool. And before that, West Ham of all teams, along with a certain Mr. Tevez. Now,
Yes.
under Roy Hodgson, he was actually a leading part of that team and was certainly getting to play many, many more games as one of the key players. But the big problem was his family wasn't happy, and in as much as footballers, I mean, we'd love to see footballers displaying a great deal of career ambition and a desire to, really achieve a lot more. Sometimes when you have families who just aren't able to quite settle down, that sort of trumps the whole thing. And you can't really expect yourself to be happy if you know that your wife and your children, who are the apples of your eye, aren't. So
Yeah.
he moved to Barcelona, and he was sort of a backup player, really, to Sergio Busquets, who was a Spanish international at the time, of
Yeah.
course. And although he didn't play too many games at Barcelona, he was still one of the first picks for Argentina. And so, his family ended up being a lot happier in the new environment, and it works out well for him. So, if he does get a good club in Spain, especially with the language being an issue, then you can't really judge him if he wants to move. I'm sure, if there were another club where he could possibly go and his family would be more than happy to settle there, then fair play. But as you mentioned, his English is not really the best. So, it's hard enough to settle down in a certain city where you're trying to play football and forge a career for yourself while also make a living with the pay packet you earn every week.
Yeah.
Don't forget, taxes are an issue, probably. But if you don't quite know the language and can't really fit in and settle in almost immediately, it's all the more difficult. So I think he'll probably end up moving, and a move to Spain would be the best thing for him, depending on what club he picks. If he picks a good club, which will be in Europe and which will be eager to, make the most of his talents, then I'd say good luck to him. If not Valencia, then maybe a possibility could be Villarreal. If I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to have a midfielder of his caliber, especially with more than a few of their players possibly being signed by Unai Emery at the end of the season to try and strengthen Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you, though. He's our most expensive signing ever, right? 25 million, and he's probably going away on a free at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is that now okay? You amortize the investment over the time, and that's true. Is that the best decision on our part to let a contract like his run out and not get anything in return, or do we just say, oh, you know what, he put in, what is it, 4 years, 4 years now, 5 years, and we're thankful for him and we let him move, he just moves on. I'm just trying to think from a practical point of view, shouldn't we be trying to get a return on our investment a little bit?
Do you know what? I might throw my opinion in here. If we were in the Premier League throughout that whole period of time and his whole contract, I would say, yeah, most definitely, it would have been better if he wasn't willing to stay on after a certain point to actually move a player on like that. The thing was we were relegated to the Championship during the COVID period, of course, an unstable period of time for a lot of footballers. Unprecedented, really, and I think his stock would have dropped a lot more. But also, he's made back what we would have sold him for during that time, which would have been less than that 25 million. He's made back that in promotion back to the Premier League
and keeping us there.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And
so that's our investment return, right? Our investment return.
I would say so, yeah.
He got us back, and more importantly, he kept us up for another year, right? Because I think we'd all say that he was instrumental this year. I do think, by the way, somebody said who will replace him. I think we're going to have to go out and get somebody. That is one position. I like Lewis. I think he's good, but he's not Jefferson Lerma in terms of the defensive side.
Yeah. No, that's very, very true. And I think Jefferson is brilliant at this level. I think actually, to be fair, he was the referees in the Championship just seemed to pick on him a little bit, didn't they? Do you feel?
Yeah. He basically what happened was he started getting yellow cards, and then they're all like, "Oh, this is the guy who gets yellow cards, so we'll bring out our yellow card." So yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think he was picked on.
Well, here's an interesting one. Bournemouth going in for Eddie Nketiah next season.
Oh.
That would be an interesting one. Would you take Eddie Nketiah?
I think
Yeah,
Haaland.
to be honest, I'd take him Eddie Nketiah because like although everyone's been saying Solanke ain't an out and out striker, because then we've got options like Kiefer Moore and him, because if he did come to our club, Nketiah could be up front as an out and out striker, because where he's got the experience at Arsenal, and Solanke can always be behind him, can't he? Anyone agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Would you agree on that, Manny?
Here's the thing, though. I mean, in as much as I would actually love nothing better than to see that guy off the books of our club, I'm not too sure necessarily that he would be able to. I'm not too sure that he would necessarily be good value for you guys, because he was, if you recall, on the books at today's opponents of yours, Leeds, and Bielsa, with his commitment to a certain type of attacking football, which really, wowed the crowds, wasn't impressed with his attitude. And even now, this season with Arsenal, he's been pretty much found out as someone who is capable of putting in some runs, but who doesn't really have the best of shots on him, and his positioning at times isn't really has been found wanting. I think in terms of impact, in terms of what he's lent to the team, Reece Nelson has been a bigger player for us. So my biggest concern is we're gonna have to really see what sort of a role he can play. I don't think he should be your lead striker if you do decide to go for him, because in as much as you'd like to say that Solanke isn't an out-and-out striker, I think he and Billing actually have combined together to do quite well for the club. And don't forget, you've also got Jaden Anthony and Kiefer Moore in reserve, and maybe Anthony hasn't scored too many goals as of yet, but you can't deny that he has pace. Maybe he could be sent on loan. I think if you do decide to buy him, you're going to have to sort of let him start off as a backup striker, let him play in some of the cup competitions to sort of get him a little bit up to speed, and then use him as an option, because I would say Solanke and Billing have looked really good this season, and if it isn't broken, I wouldn't try to fix it. But if Nketiah does do well in the limited opportunities he gets at first, he could certainly prove to be an option. If that interests you, then you're welcome to go for it. But I will say right now, there are, I think, better strikers you could possibly try and go for at different clubs, maybe.
What we'll do is we'll bring it back to the game, of course, today's game, because there was one area that I did want to discuss. But AFCB Germany has posted this. Heard of this Newcastle player called Fraser? Anyone heard of him? Apparently he scored a few in the under-21 squad. We do have a comment. I'm not sure who it's from, but basically that whoever that is, I do agree with you.
I think
Isn't I meant to say yes at the end? No.
Isn't that it? Wasn't that song? No. Oh dear, Oscar, you probably never heard of that song. You don't want to hear of it. What I did want to discuss was the goal for Leeds. Leeds fans, if you're all watching, feel free to comment.
Paddy, go now.
Oh, you got to go now, Oscar, have you?
It's past his bedtime.
It's past your bedtime, is it?
Bless
All
him.
right, Oscar. Well, we will see you next time. I'll see you soon, Floyd.
See you soon, mate.
All right, see you later.
See you,
All right,
Floyd.
cheers, Oscar. Take care, mate. Bye bye. Oh, he's a good little lad, isn't he?
Hi, is your name Paddy? That's brilliant.
Paddy. I just love it. Everybody's calling me Paddy.
I'll go first on what I thought about Leeds' goal.
Go
on. Apart from we could have kept a clean sheet. But although I did say I don't think we will, not being negative. But to be honest, I'm happy because the first time this season in ages, apart from the 0-0 draws and the wins we've had at home from keeping a clean sheet, I think we've always gone one down and sometimes come back from a win, loss, or a draw. But with Leeds' goal today, I think the only thing that let us down with not getting that clean sheet was Ian said on the commentary when I watched back the replay. It said there was nobody marking him. It was a free header in the box from I don't know who that guy was that crossed it in the box. I've forgotten his name. That short guy that's got pace.
Crosses again.
Gnotto.
Otto,
That's
the thing. We need to work on like set pieces and crosses in the box because that's how we easily concede goals from like.
Kelly lost his man completely. I think personally, I just
I
think
mean, but I think Bamford's like 6'2", which is a decent height to get a header on. So to be honest,
but he's hardly prolific though, is he?
I mean, Neto. I don't think he bothered to dive for it because he was like near his left side of the post, and Bamford headed it right in the bottom left corner of the right hand. So to be honest, I think there's nothing he could do about that. But the defence, to be honest, need to have a look at themselves, thinking, "Oh, there's another cross we've let in." But to be honest, we need to defend crosses. To be honest, as soon as that ball was in the box, I was like, "Oh no, please defend this!" And you could tell Leeds fans already celebrating before the ball's in the back of the net because you know what we're like from blooming conceding crosses.
Liam, what did you make of the Leeds goal, and who do you think was at fault for that?
I felt it was a lack of concentration, and Kelly should have marked Bamford better.
Yeah,
even though Kelly, I thought was superb today.
I think that was his lapse. One lapse in concentration, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
That's
completely cost us that goal, didn't it? But again, every time a cross goes in, I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes I'm either stood there or sat down, depends how the game's going. But I'm scared every time I see a cross go into our box, whether it's on a set piece, open play. We just can't defend them.
I'm scared. Corner.
We're all right at defending normally, but when it comes to crosses, then it'll be like, ugh. Because every goal we conceded to West Ham, it was a cross, even when they scored that scorpion kick. Like Antonio was a free header, right? Second one, nobody was marking Paquetto running at the back post. Their third goal was from a corner. Rice just smashed it in from a rebound through Billings' legs and deflected in. And Bowen crossed it in the box, and it was just a scorpion kick, and the defence just... another thing as well, what you, Craig and Matt said, Metham looked round. Was that right, Matt? You said Metham looked to him behind his shoulder and thought...
the Metham could see the guy coming in the box. He knew where he was, but rather than sticking with his man, he decides to throw himself at the ball.
Whereas he completely missed it, and then full out from the back post, and it was a great goal. It was a great finish. I can't take it away from them. But to be honest, next season in the Premier League, if we still were conceding like set pieces, corners, and crosses in the box, that's our only weakness, I think. Because to be honest, when we can deal with that against West Ham, that's when you had their Southampton's manager was writing down in that where to attack us from, and he was like telling them to put crosses in the box because they know we can't defend it. To be honest, because I even showed you, Craig, he was spotted in the stadium, wasn't he? Diego Rico lookalike. But to be honest, we need to start defending crosses in the box.
One thing I would say is that I think we need one area we need help in the defensive coaching. I mean, I think Tom is great. I think he's a good coach, but he's not an experienced. He's only got a few years of experience coaching. We need to bring somebody with experience in the coaching.
Sax Glend has just what we'll do is we'll come back to that point in a second, but actually I'm very, very interested about this story, which is Orta out. So Victor Orta, who is the sporting director at Leeds United, it'll be quite interesting to Max's internet looks like it's died again, who is the sporting director at Leeds United. has come under a lot of criticism. That's what the Leeds fans were singing at the end, according to Sky Sports. Sax, if you're happy to, please come on, on camera, or if you just want to do audio only, because I'm quite interested to hear about this Orta guy. Because, like Dan Moylan did say in our preview, it's just the way it's all being run in the background is very much championship like. So I'd be quite interested to hear a bit more about him. Let's go back to that goal then. So, my personal opinion, and then we'll go to the voice of reason, as we call him, Manny, the voice of reason, who can. Oh, Max's internet has definitely died. He needs to put some more money in that meter. I tell you what we might have to do is start a sponsorship program, and we'll get Max's internet sorted. What do you reckon?
A GoFundMe of sorts, Craig?
GoFundMe for Max's internet, yes. But here we go. My opinion is pretty much what everybody said, peeled away from Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly wasn't sure where he had gone. Kelly had a very, very good game today. Was slightly surprised. But, I do think that's why we've been playing Stevens. But Stevens was particularly weak in that West Ham match where there was balls coming into the box. You think back to the Liverpool home game, Liverpool are always going to put you under pressure. They're a lot more talented side than ours. And that's not knocking our players. They are what they are, Liverpool. Same for Arsenal. Same for Spurs. All those sort of teams. They're a lot more talented. They're going to get balls into that box. And Jack Stevens defended those well. With regards to Max has dropped the camera now, but that's all right, mate. You're a bit too drunk, aren't you? But where was my train of thought? But the thing is that West Ham match, Jack Stevens had a stinker. He had a stinker. Of course, he couldn't play against his parent club. I
think the whole team had probably had a stinker against West Ham, didn't they?
Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah. But I think Stevens has been brilliant. When those balls are coming into the box, he's been heading them away. I don't think Lloyd Kelly really has that same effect. I don't think he has the same effect as what Stevens does. I don't think he has the same presence as what Stevens does. Not saying that he's any less of a player, but it's just a bit of a weakness on his front. But, Leeds, luckily, weren't a side who were pinging balls left, right and centre into our box. Because, frankly, Leeds weren't good enough. What was your view of it, Manny? And Max says, Max, go and put 50p in the meter and come back on. Go on, Manny, what do you think?
Yeah, I just saw the goal. Thanks a lot to YouTube, by the way. I also was able to watch some highlights on the telly, although I think they were showing both the Manchester City Fulham game and also the United Villa game. And then, of course, there was Liverpool and Spurs. But I think everything that you've touched on, Craig, has pretty much been mentioned by everyone so far in this call-in show. And the man marking simply was just awful. I do seem to remember as well, you spoke about how Jack Stevens was, terrific when it came to high balls, which is why, maybe you didn't anticipate Leeds pinging those crosses in, which is why you didn't opt to go for a back five. Because I do seem to remember when you played the back five against Arsenal, you were able to nullify us when it came to crosses coming in. And for us as well, we conceded several goals from corners and set pieces this season. And I think one thing which I might probably want to ask you and a lot of other people here is, I think in as much as we all love Neto and think that he has been terrific as a shot stopper and a leader, I'm always of the type of opinion, call me old school, that a goalkeeper also has to take some responsibility when it comes to high balls being brought into the box. And I remember, watching Arsenal and growing up idolizing David Seaman, who was 6'4", obviously big personality, big person. Um, he always was able to leap for crosses and grab them cleanly. He did flap on more than a few, but he was able to catch more than he flapped
Yeah.
far more often. And of course, he was England's number one to the tune of 75 caps, two more than World Cup legend Gordon Banks, and also he and Joe Hart are stuck on the same level. But I think if you take a look at several of the goals as well, Neto just hardly seems to do anything. And you want to have a goalkeeper who is that sort of an imposing personality who can also act as a leader in that defense by saying, you know what, I'm going to come and collect this, and I'm going to help you lot out. And I think as a goalkeeper, it's not so much about saving shots. It's definitely not so much about landing a long pass on a sixpence. I always like my goalkeepers to dominate on crosses and make sure that they assume that leadership role and have that big personality. And Neto, for me, he is, he does lead by example when it comes to shot stopping. And I think there was a double save earlier on in the game he made, which kept Bournemouth in it before, or around about the time the goals were scored. I don't know. That might have been in the first half or whatever. But when it comes to dominating from set pieces, he can be found wanting at times. So it isn't really fair to just completely put the blame on the back four or the back five. The goalkeeper is supposed to be a linchpin of the defense, and he might also need to start taking some responsibility. It reminds me of a situation when Peter Schmeichel came to Manchester United in, I believe it was 1991. And he was also deemed to be quite weak on crosses. So Alex Ferguson found the solution. He got his big central defenders, Pallister and Bruce, and the other big men in the team to literally pound in on him. High balls were sort of thrown into the penalty area, and he was literally made to, practice catching them and making sure that he was toughened up to be able to get them. And we all know what happened to him. We all know how his career panned out. I suppose in Neto's case, he might be a little bit old, but when it comes to goalkeepers, you're never too old to learn a new trick. And if Emi Martinez himself can also improve his distribution to make him, in my opinion, the best all-round keeper in the league, maybe tied up there with Alisson Becker, perhaps. I think Neto's going to have to take a little bit of personal responsibility and have a little bit more training. And I think from now on, if you study certain teams, you might need to adopt a horses for courses approach where you do play a back five. I don't know if Stevens will be allowed to come back to Bournemouth unless you buy him. But if you want to have a really good central defender who's in the air and who's really good in the air and also is able to dominate that way, you could do no worse than possibly going for someone like Bednarek from Southampton, perhaps. Certainly a very imposing personality. You can do your homework on him. And so if Southampton get relegated, they will be having a fire sale. Why not take him on? And you could also perhaps maybe take Theo Walcott. Still scoring a few goals, still has the vision, could be useful as a bench player. Think about that.
Do you know what? I wouldn't take Theo Walcott, but I think Bednarak is a very good call. Don't get me wrong. He's not. He's not like the star name that everybody would like and what everybody would desire, but he does a job. He's a bit like Stevens, again, a name that isn't as exciting for the fans, but he does the job. And Steve Cook was like that. He wasn't a big name. I'll bring Max back in. There he is, but. Just a quick one, actually. AFCB Germany has brought up something that, unfortunately, I found out this morning, and we did retweet this as well. But Josh McCoyed has been diagnosed with sarcoma, which is a rare cancer. It develops in bone and connective tissue. So all of our thoughts are with Josh at this time. Everybody at Aldershot Town, where he is at the moment.
How old,
And
how old is he, Craig?
He's 33.
33.
Yeah.
Oh, that's young.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, I think that's really young to get that, and to be honest, it's not really good. To be honest,
No, no.
at such a young age as well, and not getting it at a late age. I mean, yeah, it's basically like David Brooks, wasn't it? But Brooks was like 20 when he got it, so
Blood cancer, but which is treatable if you get it early. Sarcoma is not good.
No, it's not good at all. And there's been a lot of outpouring of love, as there should be, for Josh after that sad news as well. So, all our thoughts are with Josh at this moment in time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he will make a very, very quick recovery. I tell you what, let me read out the statement that he's put out as well on Twitter. I'm sure he won't mind. He has been liking and thanking fans as well throughout the day, which, shows the sort of caliber of person he is. He's a lovely guy and doesn't deserve this. But this is really difficult for me to say, but something I feel ready to share. A few weeks ago, I was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer called sarcoma in my leg. It's still early days, but the prognosis so far is positive as it can be, and I will be undergoing treatment throughout the summer. It's been a tough few weeks, but I'm lucky to have such a great family and group of friends who have supported me all the way. I want to thank my teammates, the manager, and all the staff who have been supportive at this time. Hopefully, this message can grow awareness around any lump or bump. I have my partner to thank for making me get checked. It's normally nothing, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And completely agree with him. And like I say, all of our thoughts are with him, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a speedy recovery as well.
I mean, the saddest thing is it's always got to have to happen to all the good people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing is, and he just said it in his statement too, guys, get checked out, and especially guys, right? Because one of the problems,
Yes.
guys tend not to go to the break it off, say fine. That's the message sending is go and get checked out.
Yeah, completely agree. And I'll be honest. I've had checkups before, because unfortunately cancer does, and sometimes it does run in families. Sometimes it can be a trend, so to speak. But I've had the checkup before, and you know albeit, don't get me wrong, it's something that's not particularly pleasant, and nobody's going to sit there and lie and say it is something to look forward to, because it's definitely bloody not. It's worthwhile going and getting it checked out, and better to be on the safe side, really, because once they turn around and say, "Oh no, it's nothing," then you can just walk away and go, "Right, okay, that's fine. At least I know it's nothing."
And I would say guys in particular, right? I mean,
Yeah.
about it, we tend to very I think nothing's wrong. So yeah. So hopefully we've saved one life today by some check that would be worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Um, Luca has asked a question. Matt's having a sing song at the moment.
Sorry,
Matt probably thought he was on mute there.
I thought I was on mute, just listening. Sorry.
Fair enough. What was the song called?
I'm on mute now, aren't I?
Yeah, he's probably muted himself because he doesn't want you to know what the song is.
But the song went something like da 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 da.
Oh, so it wasn't actually a song of anything, to be honest. But there you go.
No, it's just one of those concentration things. You don't realise you're doing it.
No, that's all right. To be honest, I do the same. Do you think Bournemouth will stay up? Yes, Luca. We 100% think so.
I think today confirmed. Obviously, Southampton would have been, even if we lost to Southampton once they would have stayed up. But to be honest, the game today, I think obviously we had to win. Leeds needed to win more and the points more, of course, because a point would have been nothing for them. And to be honest, if they got 3 points, yeah, it'd be all balanced again. But to be honest, the win today puts us on 11 wins for the season, which obviously all these pundits they said, "Oh, you're going down, you're finishing at bottom." We all said we all proved them wrong, and I think we're definitely staying up. The game today proves that. And if we get a point against Germany or win, I'm looking at the comment. We get a point against.
We play in Germany now.
Oh, I'm looking at the comment. Oh, shut up. No, so if we get a point against Chelsea, don't you say it. We get a point against Chelsea or we beat Chelsea, I think we'll finish above them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh crap! I just remembered we can't play a country. We're playing in the league.
There we are. And sarcoma has a very high 5-year survival rate, which is positive, especially as it was found early, which is a good thing. Matt, I know you're on mute, but you have sorted out some slides, haven't you?
Yeah. Are we going
Shall
for
we
it?
run through those? Yep. Yeah, let's do it, mate. Let's do it. And let's. Oh, there we are. Technical issues. There we are. Let me just hide the comments at the moment.
I love that slide.
It is amazing, isn't it? Go on, Matt. You take it away. You take it away.
Well, I just put these things together, Craig. You're the host.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody, who wants to go first with the match stats? Far away.
Well, to be honest, I'll say something very quickly. Sat there watching the game, I didn't realise Leeds had more possession than us, even though it was just slightly.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we like Leeds. To be honest, we sit back and sit deep and that. I mean, to be honest, with that, we counter attacked them, especially with the fourth goal when it was a long pitch to Atara and he just smashed it straight to the feet of Semenya and it was a cool finish. But to be honest, looking at them stats, we had 43 to their 57. Obviously, we had 7 on target, which, I mean, to score 4 and get 7 on target proves we took our chances really well. But, to the Leeds 6 on target, you had 12 shots to their 15. We made 569 touches to their 695, I believe. 367 passes to their 477. 24 tackle to their 19, so we won that one. We made more clearances by 6, so we got 20 to their 14. 2 corners to their 5. 2 offsides to their 1. We had 1 yellow card, they had none. I'm surprised. Did Lerma get booked today? Because I didn't see him get a card. 12 fouls conceded to their 14. I mean, to be honest, from their because they had 5 corners and we had 2. Neto made a really good double save because I think he punched it straight out into the mixer, straight out of the box, and then it fell to one of our players. I think it was Smith that headed it out from the Neto parry, and then I think it was one of their players went to take a shot, slipped, but it was a nice, sweet struck shot, and it was a great save in Neto's bottom left corner. So. I mean, Neto did really well today, but there's nothing he could do with that Bamford header. It was too powerful, and Lloyd Kelly lost his man, unfortunately. But, 4-1, we take it, and we move on to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think to be honest, with regards to statistics, I'm surprised Leeds had more possession than us. But to be honest, I think we were much better side. We was in complete control.
I mean, when we were winning in the last minute, Leeds they started to turn on their manager. They started saying you're not fit to wear the shirt. They all come running down the stairs and that. And all the stewards and the police came out because it's obviously a big game, not Leeds alike, and they were just having a go at their players constantly, even at full time. Even me and you saw that, Craig. We picked up on that. They weren't happy. They're basically like Everton, weren't they? When Iwobi gave his shirt to a
Yeah.
crowd, and they just dashed it straight back onto the pitch.
And that's
mean,
why
Leeds-
I'm hoping that
they
the Leeds
they
fan,
turned toxic.
if there's one watching, I'd quite like to know this Victor
Their
Orta
opinions and their
story.
thoughts
That
on what they thought the game.
yeah, because there's certainly issues there. There's certainly issues at Leeds, which need to be resolved.
I've got a question, because I can't remember myself, or I should remember because I was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
When there was a very big handball appeal, was it inside the box, although it was outside? Did the referee give a penalty straight away? But then they just wanted to be safe and go to VAR.
I didn't know if the linesman give it.
Linesman gave a penalty because obviously referee didn't give it, and the linesman gave the penalty, and then where the ref didn't give it, I think that's why they went straight to VAR. But I'm glad it went straight to VAR because we'd have been 1-0 down and we'd have had to do what we did against Fulham and come back from 1-0. And it's 1-0, it's not always easy to come back from because teams like us, we went 1-0 up against Leicester, Wolves, Liverpool, and Southampton, and we managed to win 1-0. So coming back from 1-0 was never easy as you think.
No.
Yeah, free kick there, not a penalty because it was clear.
If it was a penalty, we all know who would have been taking the penalty, and it would have been Patrick Bamford. But to be honest, he's missed quite a few in his time. But just like Salah, he's a better striker, so you never know in this league. To be honest,
Greg, I have a couple of quick questions for you. One is, how are the Leeds fans behaving, considering the time in 1990 when they didn't behave so well? And the second thing,
in 1990, they beat us 1-0. When I was looking at it, and it was at our ground, and they still were like smashing the town up, even though they won. Like imagine if they lost, that would have been a lot worse.
To be honest, this and I'll answer that question firstly, David, and then by all means tell me the other question. But with regards to Leeds, I know there was a big thing made about it, and of course, unfortunately, at this point, when that stupid statement was made and that stupid thing, the screenshot was posted with regards on Twitter, I was part of the Cherries Trust at that point, which I was not consulted at all with regards to that, and 1990 is 33 years ago. Now, say for example, if somebody was 30 years old in 1990, they're 63.
Like 65 now, 70.
Well, 63 years old now. So,
is me.
Who's going to want to cause trouble in that?
But but the point I'm trying to make with regards to this is that it's a very different group of fans now, and I spoke to and in fact, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I spoke to as one of my last things I did for the Cherries Trust was I spoke to the Leeds Supporters Trust, and a really, really lovely lady come on. I can't remember her name, so I do apologise if you're watching this. I will find it out, and actually, it'd be quite nice to get her on here. Now, I'm nothing to do with the Cherries Trust, never would want to be anything to do with it again in the future. But their trust has been working night and day to solve those issues. They know that they've got a bad reputation. Some of it justified, and to be honest, some of the fans' channels, of course, like the Square Ball, they appreciate. They've got this reputation, but it's a reputation from 33 years ago. And to be fair, the Leeds fans then isn't the same Leeds fans now, and you've got to judge teams based on what they are now rather than what they used to be in the past. Another great example is Millwall. And every Millwall fan I have come across in my entire life has been absolutely fine with me. Yeah, I tell you one set group of fans that wasn't particularly very nice at one point, and to be honest, they've started to get a reputation. Sheffield United. Sheffield United, and that's what I mean. It goes through, peaks and troughs.
Right. And the thing is, I mean, I remember growing up in the 70s, and Leeds
Yeah.
had a bad reputation. I always remember going to Newport County. We lost 5-1 away, and when we were in the old 4th Division, I walk outside the ground with my Bournemouth scarf, and some Welsh guy comes up and punches me in the face. You English, and I'm like, you won 5-1, and you're still punching me. I mean, it was very different back then, and I think one of the good things today, really, the fans' behaviour has improved. I mean, I still remember, those big cages that they used to put people—not cages, but the big fences that stopped you being able to get a good. So I think things have improved.
Oh crikey! I remember actually how long ago was that? Millwall years and years and years ago. And in fact, when you got off, because it's in a place called Bermondsey, when you
Right.
get off at Bermondsey, you go in, and the station is very, very segregated as it is. They actually channel you down what is like a steel metal cage.
Yeah.
You have barriers either side, and to be honest, that sort of thing doesn't happen anymore. Ninian Park as well was another interesting one. You drive into the cage, and then they let you out, and the police escort you to the ground.
Right.
That sort of thing doesn't happen anymore, and football has come on a lot. And yeah, what happened in 1990 was disgusting. Should never have happened. Leeds fans should feel quite embarrassed of that. It isn't the Leeds fans now. It is, and to be honest, that statement, and I'm going to be. This is my honest opinion. It's my honest opinion. I know that some people. Oh, unfortunately, I was part of the Cherries Trust at the time. Luckily, I gave it up very, very shortly after that. That statement had part of it to do with it, as well as the whole management of it. But
Let's move on to the other question I have, which is
yeah,
about Leeds United. And I was talking to some of the Leeds fans today in DC, and they're saying that if they stay up, then the 49ers, which is a big football team, their family were going to buy Leeds, but they're not sure what will happen if they go down to the Championship.
interest in that. What I would suggest, if anybody who is watching this now and hasn't watched it, I know the game's already gone, and I know opposition preview shows. You normally watch those before the match, but Dan Moylan, who is from the Square Ball, the leading Leeds podcast, it's brilliant. Honestly, the Square Ball is absolutely fantastic. What they have done, they are amazing. Watch what he says about the 49ers. And, I think it would be unjust of me to actually explain it
All right,
when
I'll
he
watch
explains it a lot better.
Okay, no, I'll watch it.
Yeah, he explains it a lot better. I don't really want to comment on it because in case I get something wrong,
That's fine.
I can. Yeah, but definitely watch that because he goes into it a lot better than I would.
Okay.
Oh, Max is
Lights.
back. There we are.
Oh
Max,
yeah, I was just
you put
sending you
another.
something because I saw us on one of the Bournemouth fans matchday vlogs. It wasn't what you think, but it was one of the other guys. I saw us on in the background.
Fair enough.
I
What
sent
have
you
you
on
done?
WhatsApp.
Sent it on WhatsApp. Okay, I'll somehow get it to the computer then. Player
Yeah, you can put it on the stream if you
ratings.
want. Oh, we've got play ratings.
Yeah, we'll stick it on the screen. We'll stick it on the screen somehow.
Guys, tough on
So yeah, quite high player ratings. Do we agree with all of those?
Well, I can't see what was Neto's.
Oh, Neto's is 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting point on it. Now these ratings here, they're from Sky. And I would say I pretty much agree with all of these ones, to be fair. But the BBC scored.
Do you think we'd have got Lerma would have got a 10 if he got a hat trick?
Yes.
Quite possibly, yeah. I would have said so. The BBC actually scored Neto 6.39. Really? Did they not see the world class saves he pulled off?
Oh, that was outstanding. That's
Oh yeah,
in that
don't
second
forget,
half.
don't
He's
forget that
fantastic.
Alan Shearer works under BBC with Blooming Match of the Day, and he's never said anything good about Bournemouth, to be honest. So it's probably him.
Yeah, well, I
So
don't
that-
think that's
But that's what the point was raised before, about how Neto deals with crosses, right?
as long as Newcastle win.
So the saves were fantastic, but the goal that we gave up. I mean, yeah. The more I think about it, I mean, the defense is to blame, but Neto needs to be commanding that penalty box more, so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I think he was brilliant. I think he was brilliant, and deserved more. There was those are saves Travers probably wouldn't have made. Completely agree.
I agree with that.
Completely agree. And no fancy slideshow animations. Do you know what Matt does put in the slideshow animations? See, I can't getting too many S's in there, but the problem is when you download, what you have to do is you have to download it to a PDF and then upload it to StreamYard, and all the animations just go by the wayside. So, yeah, although Matt does all that bit, unfortunately they wouldn't show, anyway. So it's a bit. Unfortunately, it's the
Going back to
software.
AFC Bournemouth's Germany's comment. Yeah, I reckon if Travers was in goal, it probably would have been like 4-3 to us, to be honest, because Leeds did have a good few pop shots at goal.
Yeah.
And Neto, especially the one there when Neto parried it, he came out for it. But whereas if that was Travers, he'd have probably missed not putting the bloke down, but he'd have probably missed it, because remember when Spurs, he was blind, the whole defence blinded him. He went to come out for the thing, and it was a free header as well from across from the corner with Ben Davies. So yeah, I'd probably say we'd have won just about, not comfortably. We probably won at 4-2 or 4-3, but Neto was the main man in goal.
Facebook user Lerma rated at 9 with a hat trick, maybe 10, but he did also give the ball away that led to their goal.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's Floyd.
Floyd, yes, that is very
Floyd
true, actually.
He did give the ball away, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that till he's just reminded me. But
yeah.
yeah.
Let's go on to the next slide, shall we?
Let's move on. Man of the match, then.
For me,
I think
it's got to be.
Go on. Sorry.
Got to be Lerma.
Shall we go around the room, Max?
Well, I've got to agree with that one, Lerma.
I agree with that one. What do you reckon, Matt?
I'd say all of them had a good game, but to cap it off, it would have to be Lerma.
Liam?
I mean, if it wasn't for Lerma, we'd probably.
I think Lerma, definitely. And Orta was good today.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a word in for Rothwell as well. I mean, I thought he was an unsung hero. He was all over the place. But in terms of winning the match, those 2 goals from Lerma, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Might be going against the grain. For me, it's Dongo Watara. Believe it or not, it's pronounced it Dongo Watara. Was once again very impressed. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Ever since because against Brighton, I think he had a bit of a stinker. As did Hamad Traore. But I think personally, he's got back to his best. If not, he's come back better than he was before. Manny, who do you reckon was your man of the match?
Who are you speaking to, mate?
Yeah, Manny, you.
Yeah, listen, look, Craig. Listen, the thing the thing about these call-in shows, and I absolutely love them, is that I really can only say my full piece if and when I watch the entire game. As I've told you,
Yeah,
the highlights don't really cover too much, just a microcosm.
yeah,
But you can't look beyond Jefferson Lerma. Seriously, you can't. I think those 2 goals obviously put some daylight between the Cherries and the Whites, and it sort of seemed to galvanise the entire team. And even when Banter got a goal back, Bournemouth never looked like either surrendering the lead or even going down. So yeah, clearly man of the match. And the fact that you've actually had a discussion about what would happen if he were to leave, I think that pretty much just sums it all up.
yeah, most definitely. Let's have a look at the slide. You have to give O'Neill all the credit. So Michael Brown believes Bournemouth are all but safe and can go and plan for a brighter future in the Premier League. He told BBC Radio 5 Live's Football Daily that the boss Gary O'Neill deserves all the credit for the job he has done with the Cherries. It's incredible. At one point, Gary O'Neill was under pressure. There was talk of Bielsa and that they were almost going to make that change, he said. You looked at the table and thought Bournemouth and Southampton plus another to go down. Just tells you how good a job he has done. They have played it in a really good way. They had good hiding, recovered, came back, had some good results, and they have done it by playing a good style of football. I've got to give Gary O'Neill an unbelievable amount of credit. The recruitment obviously helped them in the January window, and now they can go and plan for a brighter future, invest a little more. You're looking at somebody who's been very successful, and there is a job to be continued. It looks like they are going to do it, and you have to give him all the credit. Aston Villa defender Rachel Corsie said he's done an incredible job. When Scott Parker left, it sounded like there were some issues there which can cause a lot of disruption. Most definitely was. I think he had really galvanised that group. Where they are is an incredible achievement, and I do think they will be safe. I've said this for a number of weeks, and to be honest, I'm just going to say it until I'm blue in the face. I think some of the criticism that Gary O'Neill has come under is being unjust, but, and this is a big but, we were speaking about that game against Southampton, that last 20 minutes, and, how we went too defensive and how, he really let Saints back in the side, and Saints were poor. Let's be honest, they're a poor side, but I think he's done overall an outstanding job. Outstanding job from where we were.
So
I agree.
I mean, I think he's done a great job. I mean, considering where we were and where we ended up, you've got to give him a lot of credit. I think that was thrown at him were doing badly. I don't mind people criticizing and saying we need to change. But you don't need to attack the guy personally. That's the part I will never accept anybody. I mean, some of the names that people were calling him a PE teacher or whatever, it's just uncalled for. Look, is he the most exciting person in press conferences? No. Is he a Jurgen Klopp in press conferences? No. He's very matter of fact. He lays it out. Because he's boring, right? But who cares if the results are there on the field? So until today, I was of the opinion that maybe they should still look elsewhere. But I don't see how you don't give him at least the beginning of next season and a full preseason to do it. I just, if he gets us above Chelsea, he's done everything you've asked him to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I think at that stage, you probably say, fine, let's proceed with him. I think he'll need to make sure the results stay good next season. And we're not in the bottom half. I also think that they probably need to bring some help in for coaching. I do think on the defensive end, we need some help. But other than that, I've actually changed my opinion on it. I think he needs to. I think they're he's already going to get an extension of the contract. I think you give him the preseason and you see how we do in August, September, October. And if you have to make a change at some point, you make a change. But he's earned the right to at least have a go next season.
And AFCB Germany, to be honest, this is a really good point because it is, it is like for like. That was my issue when Metham made that mistake against Brentford. Some of the comments I read were sickening to say the least. So sickening, I wouldn't even repeat them here. And
Absolutely. And I remember writing
Yeah.
something. I actually tweeted to Mepham. I think his girlfriend always know wife liked it or whatever. It's like there's just no need for it, right? People need to realize that we hurt people, and you've got to be careful. You can be angry and you can be not happy about something, but you don't personally wish people ill. You just don't.
agree. Agree completely, David. And honestly, the amount of horrible stuff I've read on Twitter, especially about Gary O'Neill, especially about Chris Metham at the time as well. And
And
he's
sorry, and Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly also got a lot.
yes,
Yeah.
it's not what our football club stands for. I think these people need a long, hard look at themselves and realise what our third shirt actually stands for.
Can I just say something else? I also think somebody pointed this out today on Twitter. Actually, it was a good point. Or maybe it was Facebook. The problem is social media. Social media is like an echo chamber, right? So people, and everybody fills in, and so we get this anger and stuff. I remember in the 1970s, we didn't have social media. We just threw the cushions onto the field. That was our disapproval, right? But today we have social media. And so if I were a player, I would not be engaging with fans on social media because what you have to put up with is just ridiculous.
Yeah, completely agree. This is a new piece, and I'll get Matt to explain it. But referee watch was refereed by Chris Kavanagh, and like we said, and this was during the watch along of 1998. We mentioned it. Also mentioned it a couple of times on the show. The referees, you don't have a Uriah Rennie or Paul Durkin or Graham Pole or Jeff Winter or anybody else, Mark Housey. You don't have those sort of referees anymore. But what you do have is you have people with mics in their ears, so they're listening to somebody who isn't even at the stadium about what is going on. But go on, Matt. You explain a little bit more about what referee watch is.
Just to take a look at the referee's history of refereeing and how he actually performed during our game today. I thought he ref the game pretty well, in all fairness. I thought he played advantage well. I don't think he's one of these referees that's bullied by VAR.
Yeah.
I thought he was a good, strong ref today, and I thought he put a good performance in. And it's just basically just to discuss that topic, really. I mean, I don't know what you thought, Greg, but I don't remember speaking about the referee really. But I don't know
I
what
think he got.
you know. His
I think
linesman was poor today.
yeah. I think
Line-
he got the decision right. With regards to when they had the penalty shout. That was 100% correct. He got that spot on. I think. Yeah, I think it was very much. If you don't notice the referee, or you don't feel that too much has gone against you, then it's not. It's shown the referee's done quite a good job. I certainly thought like the referee on Thursday night. We should have had a penalty, if not two. So I think that's probably the thing that does shine out. However, he was the referee that refereed the game against Arsenal, and there's questions with regards to that and the added on time. So, I would say a fairly solid performance from the referee.
Yeah, I would say so, definitely.
Yeah, a fairly solid performance. What does everybody else think?
Yeah, good performance.
I think as you said, Craig, a good referee is one that you don't notice.
Yeah, definitely. David, I know that you have to shoot off as well. So, David, thank you again for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Every time
Yeah.
they come on, win. Well, apart from the West Ham game, but
Yeah, no, it's always good. And they actually, we'll have to get you on some of our cherry picking shows as well, if you're up for that.
yeah, it's just with the time difference, it gets a little bit hard. But
Of course.
all right,
Well, we'll
but
speak to you about that. But yeah, thank you so much, David, and all the very best.
yep, let's go and beat Chelsea next weekend. Then we'll really
Yeah, we've got to play them on Tuesday, so we'll soften them up for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you soften them up. Score like 7 or 8 goals. Make them really pissed off.
Cheers,
Bye.
David. All the best, mate. Take care. Bye bye. And Max has also gone as well, I think.
Right, I've got to head off, Craig. I'll see you in a bit. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, that's all right, Max. I'll see you soon. Take care, mate. See you. Bye bye. There we are. Max has also gone. So, sorry, I do apologise. Coughing whilst drinking, but referee, I thought was good. I thought was good. Anything else to add, guys?
No, not for me.
Here we are. What the gaffer had to say. Let me make it full screen again. So, Bournemouth manager Gary O'Neill speaking to BBC Match of the Day. We were excellent. We had a big effort on Thursday against Southampton, another relegation rival, a quick turnaround, so I was a bit worried about today. Leeds come in fresh off the back of 2 days recovery, and they are an intense team anyway. I asked the boys to put all that aside. Sorry, I'm going. All that aside, no excuses in dropping our level. We set a goal in August, and it was at the end of this game if we wanted it enough. The boys did, and 39 points should be enough. We were playing well, and Jeff scored 2 great goals. A bit disappointed with theirs. It made the game feel a bit closer than it was. We changed a few bits second half, and we were the better side again. Sorry about the stop there and the confusion. It's me jolting my eyes to another part of the screen. Gary continued, it has been hard work. A lot of people questioned myself and the group. We got the opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong. We still have 4 games to go. Who knows how many points we can put on the board. There we are. So that is Gary's piece. The scores on the doors. It's all looking a lot better now, isn't it? We've got 1 game to go, but of course,
tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the games that count. Palace beating West Ham 4-3, so of course West Ham win now above. They have got a game in hand. Anybody know who that game in hand is against?
Go on then. You obviously know from the tone of voice.
Manchester City.
Oh.
So you would expect West Ham to get beat in that one.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do Arsenal the biggest of favours.
No chance. No chance.
Manny, you've been saying this all season, haven't you, that Arsenal weren't going to win it? And I've been like, no, I think you will. I think you will. And yeah. Of course, Forest were beaten 2-1 by Brighton. Not Brighton, Brentford. 6-0. Brighton beat Wolves. Of course, our result today. Southampton being thrashed 3-1 by Newcastle. And of course, the big one tomorrow is Leicester versus Everton, which we will get just some predictions for in a second. And that's the league table. And to be honest, it's still, not mathematically impossible, but to be fair, those teams have to win, at least. Well, it's not going to happen. Teams would have to win every single game, and I think that's full credit to Gary O'Neill what has happened
Yeah.
there. So, we do have one last slide to put up as
Hold on,
well.
Craig. We'll do that at the very end.
Okay.
I'll control all that bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. What I was going to say is, of course, there is the big game tomorrow. Everton versus Leicester. Leicester at home, of course. I should say Leicester versus Everton. Who's going to win that? We'll go round the room. Who wants to start first? Liam, do you want to start first? Leicester or Everton, or a draw?
I think it could be a draw.
A draw. What do you reckon, Matt?
I'm going to go with, because they're the home side and the other side's not been performing too well, plus I don't think they'll go down, I'm going to go with Leicester.
Leicester. AFCB Germany is going with a 1-1 in that game. I'm going to go with Leicester. I think Everton are poor. I think teams are figuring out Sean Dyche now and his way of playing. And in fact, and I don't know what you guys think of this statement I'm going to make, he had a better side at Burnley than he does at Everton at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Manny, Leicester or Everton? Are Everton going to be relegated for the first time since 1951?
Here's the thing. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who ironically we're looking to sign on a cut price deal. Lord knows why. And the goals just aren't coming for them. So, they look doomed. And if they certainly don't win this upcoming game against Leicester, then you must think that could very well be it. And of course, if Leicester do win, that drags Forest back into the equation. So, in as much as I do believe that Leeds could be doomed, Forest are not out of the water by any means. But Everton do look in trouble. And what you said about that statement you made, it is certainly quite true, because the quality of players that Burnley had that time. Let's not forget that prior to that relegation season, they were punching well above their weight. And of course, they were able to make it into Europe. So, it's saddening to see how far this Everton team has fallen. And I think Carlo Ancelotti, who managed that team for about 1.5 seasons, I think he saved them from relegation and then did really well in his next season before things started to go a little bit pear-shaped due to circumstances beyond his control. He saw the writing on the wall and left, and since then it's been just downhill. So Everton have problems.
Yeah, I definitely agree completely. I think, to be honest, we've covered pretty much everything with our game. I can't think of anything more to cover, but an amazing performance. Incredibly proud again of the team. The fans were brilliant who were there. We're staying up. We're staying up. Yes, and we have now got what are they called again? What are they called? These? Can you remember? Rally towels. We are now bringing the rally towel to English football. There we go. There's a full view of a rally towel, but there we go. I quite like them.
You might need to also make a new chant for your next game. I'm thinking of to the tune "Baby Give It Up." It should be "Cherries staying up, Cherries staying up," or something like that.
Do you know what we need to? Right, guys, we're going to make that happen, and then Manny is going to be watching our next game against Chelsea, and I want that to happen. So if we can get that around our fan base, that would be much appreciated. There we are, Manny. You've started something now.
I'll try. Spread it around if you can. That would be wonderful. I will look to see that.
I think pretty much we should wrap it up there. But Liam, thank you again for coming on. I'm sure
you.
you'll be coming on for the Chelsea free for all as well, won't you, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And try
excellent. Good stuff, mate. Always welcome. And thank you so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Liam.
And Manny, you'll be here for cherry picking, won't you? On
Of
Thursday.
course. Wouldn't
Recording
miss
on
it. Wouldn't miss it.
Thursday, released on Friday. So, you know, there we are. We've got everything to a T, haven't we? Well, it goes back to normal this week as well, because of course the past couple of weeks have been mad.
Been
How many
quite.
shows have we done? Too many. Luke Atmos, 2-0 Leicester win. There we are. So yeah, thank you for joining us, Luke. So yeah, please do hit the like and subscribe and the bell button. You know what, all the rest, if you can. So yes, Manny will be here, but Manny, thank you again for coming on. We have
Always.
got match of the day starting very very soon, so I want to relive this game.
Yeah, so do
Yeah,
I. So do I.
you can't miss that. You can't miss that, gentlemen. Enjoy.
Exactly.
And I know it's a Sunday, so I know you do want to celebrate, but just limit yourselves to maybe a shandy or two.
It's
Keep
bank
it
holiday
simple.
though. It's
It
bank
is a bank
holiday.
holiday.
Ah,
There we are.
up to
No
you
work
then.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Cheers, Manny. I'll see you soon, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Take
Cheers,
care.
boys. Thank
Cheers,
you.
then. Bye bye.
Bye.
And then there was two.
Right.
Uh,
So
just me and you. It's been a
yeah,
good show, isn't it?
yeah, it's been nice to have everyone involved as what's becoming the norm now. So yeah, it's good.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And this channel is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I believe we are about 60 subs away from the big 1,000. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, what we would like you to do, is hit the subscribe button now. We'd really, really appreciate it. And if there's anybody you know who might be interested in this, I'll tell you what, just share it on your Facebook or your Twitter or wherever you want to share it, on your Instagram, on Snapchat, or even on Tinder if you really want. But I don't know how much luck you're going to get off that, having my Fizzog on there. 61. Thanks, AFCB Germany. So yeah, share it wherever you like. Share it wherever you like. But Matt, I think you have got something to sign off this show on.
Yeah, obviously, with the news we had today, I think it's the best way to sign off. So until next time, we'll see you later.
Yep.